Why is colorectal cancer being diagnosed more often in adults under 50 these days?
Yeah, we're seeing an alarming rise in these cases. We have seen that people born in 1990 have double the risk of colon cancer as those born in 1950. And this is likely due to multiple things, including environmental factors, exposures in the environment, and also dietary changes, more ultra processed foods, less fiber in your diet, more red meat, smoking, alcohol, and also like sedentary lifestyle. People are not getting enough exercise. All of these contribute to the increase. Early diagnosis is really important because early stage colorectal cancer can be treated and is like 90 to 95% curable with just surgery. And surgery involves usually a minimally invasive colon resection, which is a portion of the colon being removed.
Mm-hmm.
Colon gets put back together. There's no colostomy bag involved in most of these cases. And most patients will be cured just with that. But if they're diagnosed later on where they have stage 3 or stage 4 cancer, they will also need chemotherapy. There is a higher risk of stage 4 disease or metastatic disease where the cancer spreads to other organs.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a much less treatable situation. So it's really important to diagnose early.
Hey everyone, this is Jonathan Marx. I hope you're having a great day. This is another show we're doing about the surprising incidence of colorectal cancer in young people. Colorectal cancer is now diagnosed more often in adults younger than 50, and experts say symptoms are frequently overlooked or dismissed. Warning signs like bleeding or ongoing changes in bowel habits can happen months before a diagnosis, leading to delays in care and more advanced disease when cancer is found. If colorectal cancer is caught early, treatment is often successful. Screening can help find cancer sooner or even prevent it. And experts say persistent symptoms should always be checked no matter your age. Most people should begin screening at age 45, though some may need to start earlier depending on individual risk, which we'll be discussing. Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month is in March, and Paula Denoya, MD, from the American College of Surgeons, is here to discuss which symptoms should never be ignored, how screening guidelines apply to younger adults, and how a new patient checklist from the American College of Surgeons will help adults of all ages better understand warning signs and prepare for conversations with their doctors. Before we get to Dr. Denoya, we encourage you to visit our website at gotohealthmedia.com, where you can watch all our shows on a variety of health topics. We've produced over 270 interviews. If you're listening to us on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple, please give us a thumbs up or a 5-star review. That helps us get the word out to more people. Thanks in advance. So welcome to the show, Dr. Paula Denoya. How are you today?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Good. So we just did a show on a young wife who lost her husband to colorectal cancer at 40 years old. Why is colorectal cancer being diagnosed more often in adults under 50 these days?
Yeah, we're seeing an alarming rise in these cases. We have seen that people born in 1990 have double the risk of colon cancer as those born in 1950. And this is likely due to multiple things, including environmental factors, exposures in the environment, and also dietary changes, more ultra processed foods, less fiber in your diet, more red meat, smoking, alcohol, and also like sedentary lifestyle. People are not getting enough exercise. All of these contribute to the increase.
How does not getting enough exercise contribute to colorectal cancer?
So having overweight or obesity causes more inflammation in the body, which likely is involved with the development of colorectal cancer.
Got it. Thank you. So what symptoms should never be ignored, regardless of how old you are?
So it's really important to know what your normal baseline body functions are and to note any difference that is persistent. So specifically, we're looking at changes in bowel function, like new constipation, straining, new diarrhea that's persistent over some time, weight loss that's unexplained, pain with bowel movements, feeling like you're not completely emptying your bowel when a bowel movement happens, and also seeing blood, particularly bright red blood in the stool or in the toilet water or on the paper. Those are all symptoms that we really can't ignore.
Got it. So why are delays in diagnosis so common, especially for younger patients? I guess they can't believe they might be sick with cancer.
Correct. So it's a couple different factors. One is screening. Everybody knows for the longest time that you're supposed to be screened after age 50. Now it actually changed to 45 a few years ago, which not everybody's aware of. So
Hmm.
that's one thing. You should be screening at 45 for everyone. But also, younger patients don't necessarily think that these symptoms are cancer. They
Hmm.
may think that it's a diet change or stress from work or hemorrhoids, which everybody, comes across at some point in their life. And they may ignore some symptoms or try to treat at home with laxatives over the counter or fiber supplements, when really they need to be aware that these are potentially dangerous symptoms and they should go to their doctor with it.
Got it. So, how does the new patient checklist from the American College of Surgeons help patients have better conversations with their doctors?
On their website, there's a lot of information about colorectal cancer and symptoms and everything, but there's also a checklist that the patient can print out and check off all the symptoms they had and for how long it's been going on and write down any notes before they go to see their primary care doctor. Often patients are either embarrassed to bring up some of these symptoms or they forget and they have other concerns and they run out of time to discuss them. So having it on a piece of paper already checked off before they come to the doctor can really help them start that conversation.
So, let me tell people where that website is. It's the American College of Surgeons website, and it's facs.org/CRC. Let me repeat that. It's facs.org/CRC. So, doctor, if someone is diagnosed, let's say early with colorectal cancer, what are the treatment options and how successful can they be?
Early diagnosis is really important because early stage colorectal cancer can be treated and is like 90 to 95% curable with just surgery. And surgery involves usually a minimally invasive colon resection, which is a portion of the colon being removed.
Mm-hmm.
Colon gets put back together. There's no colostomy bag involved in most of these cases. And most patients will be cured just with that. But if they're diagnosed later on where they have stage 3 or stage 4 cancer, they will also need chemotherapy. There is a higher risk of stage 4 disease or metastatic disease where the cancer spreads to other organs.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a much less treatable situation. So it's really important to diagnose early.
You mentioned a colostomy bag. Can you explain what that is for people who don't know?
Many patients are really afraid of this issue, and it is something that in some patients is necessary, which is a bag on the abdominal wall where they move their bowels into a bag. And often it is temporary and can be closed, but sometimes can't. But when you are diagnosed with an early stage colon cancer, and most of the time we can do the surgery without the bag, I find a lot of patients are very hesitant because they're afraid that it absolutely means that they will have a bag and they're so afraid of it.
Yeah, I did the interview recently again on this young wife who
Mhm.
lost her husband to colorectal cancer, and he did have a colostomy bag. And she said it was once they got used to it, it was a very livable situation. It was something they just had to get used to.
Right, exactly. And that's what most patients will find. But, the unknown is very scary for people.
Yeah,
Once they have it, it is often a life saving operation. And if that's the outcome, that's the outcome. But it is important for patients to know that that's not always going to be the outcome. And most of the time, they're going to be cured with an operation and move on with their life. But it's really important to be diagnosed early.
good. You mentioned earlier before about changing diet, and what kind of
Mhm.
diet would you recommend to avoid colorectal cancer?
So I would recommend a healthy, like high fiber, whole grain more plant-based diet, like a Mediterranean type diet,
Hmm.
avoiding a lot of red meat, trying to eat more lean meats like fish and chicken, whole grains, beans, chickpeas, those kind of things, and try to save sweets, desserts for a treat, not every day. Same thing with alcohol, avoiding smoking. These are all really important parts. And the other thing is exercise, which we brought up earlier, also for both for colon health and heart health and overall health. 3 to 5 days a week of moderate to vigorous exercise is recommended.
Got it. And say a little bit more about alcohol, if you don't mind, because I know in the past year or two, there have been a lot of new studies that have come out and said that no amount of alcohol is good for us. Can you say more about that?
Yeah, I think that there's still a lot of controversy about that. For a long time, we were told that one drink a day was okay. And
Yes.
now there's new studies saying that that's not the case and we shouldn't drink at all. But I think most things in moderation. If you can have a glass of wine to celebrate a special occasion, New Year's Eve, you want to toast, that's fine.
Yes.
But you shouldn't be having a drink every single day or multiple drinks every single day, that kind of thing.
Understood. So, are there any questions I didn't ask that I should have, doctor, or what kind of big message would you like to leave with people today?
So I think, again, remembering that colon cancer screening starts at 45 unless there are other risk factors, in which case you can start earlier. And the other, that though we recommend colonoscopy as the gold standard best option for colon cancer screening, there are other options out there as well, like the stool tests in the box. And sometimes patients are afraid of a colonoscopy. And while they shouldn't be, they also can do other screening. And any kind of screening is better than no screening at all.
What are risk factors that would make it advisable for somebody to be screened earlier than 45?
So family history, particularly in first-degree relatives like parents or siblings, if they've had colon cancer, particularly at a younger age, you should start at least at 40, if not earlier. The other is having certain diseases like inflammatory bowel disease, Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, or a personal history of other cancers like breast cancer, endometrial cancer, ovarian cancer. Those patients should also start earlier.
Good. So thank you so much for being with us today, doctor.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. We've been talking with Paula Denoya, MD. She's the program director for the Colorectal Surgery Residency Program at Stony Brook University Hospital, and she's an associate professor of surgery at the Renaissance School of Medicine at Stony Brook University. She's also the American College of Surgeons Commission on Cancer state chair for the Eastern Long Island, New York chapter. Again, doctor, thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Good. This has been Jonathan Marx. You can visit our website at GoToHealthMedia.com, where you can see all our shows. And if you're listening to us on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple, or any podcast network, please give us a thumbs up or a 5-star review. That helps us get the word out to more people. This has been Jonathan Marx with GoToHealth. And as we say at the end of every show, go to health. We'll see you again next time. God bless. Thank you for tuning in today to Go to Health. You are one of almost 10,000 people per day who enjoy the evidence-based health information offered by our guest health experts. You can watch us on our website and YouTube and listen to us on 8 podcast networks. Be sure to join Jonathan Marx in our upcoming shows each week. If you like our show, please share this episode with your friends and colleagues. You can subscribe to the show, join our email list, send us feedback, browse through the online store, and view our library of over 150 shows at GoToHealthMedia.com. See you next time, and remember to elevate your life with Go to Health.